familiar faces, with friends, with my family. My daughters are here today. It is such a great honor for me to address you on this very bittersweet occasion. Nothing on earth is more precious than life. Absolutely nothing. From conception until natural death, we honor every stage of life. That's the cause that brings us together today. And for years, I honor MCCL. They have carried out this noble mission on behalf of the most vulnerable that are among us. And right here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, untold lives have been saved. In fact, right over here at Regent's Hospital, my husband carried our babies in little baby backpacks, going in front of the hospital, seeking to persuade young women and young men to choose life for their baby. Thank you for those who have done that as well. Untold pain has been healed here in the Twin Cities by you. Untold hope was born here in the Twin Cities because of you, because of your work, because of your sacrifice. So it's today that we gather to recognize the sobering truths about the challenges that we face, because they remain. And it's a great thanks that I want to give to each of you, every one of you, because you truly are the voice of the voiceless, the defense of the defenseless, and the memory for those who in our minds will never be forgotten. I know you because I am one of you. And we don't work for personal gain. We don't work for accolades. We aren't working for wealth or for prestige, because we do what we do because we know in our hearts this is right. It's eternal. It is sacred. Because we know the glory that is a single life saved, a single soul that is saved. Because it's our first duty to protect the inalienable rights that were endowed to every individual by our Creator. Life, first among them. Whether we are perfect or imperfect, and let's face it, we're all imperfect. Now, this last year has truly been historic. 2009 was filled with hope and optimism for millions, as just 1 year ago this week, we swore into office our new president. But worst of all was what happened with human life. President Obama's policies were a very serious cause for concern, because the truth is, it was a year ago this week that President Obama began making good on his pro-abortion campaign rhetoric. That was his first order of business. In 1 year alone, we've seen onslaughts on the attack on human life. We saw the pro-abortionists in our Congress vote overwhelmingly against an amendment that would defund Planned Parenthood. Then Congress took away the ban on abortion funding for the District of Columbia. Then they had funding for abstinence education eliminated last year, and instead they created 2 new teen pregnancy programs to fund even more condom education. Last year, right after he was inaugurated, the president rescinded the Mexico City policy that made available millions of dollars to foreign organizations to promote and perform abortions around the world. The list goes on. Friends, while the majority of Americans increasingly are pro-life from every age spectrum, we're more pro-life than we have ever been in this country. Thanks to you. In spite of that, the out-of-touch, arrogant people who now control this nation are not listening to the pro-life majority in the United States. They are hell-bent on promoting abortion as a viable means of birth control. Does this make sense? And just like you, I weep for the millions of lives lost, for the millions of women whose lives have been forever changed by a decision that they often later regret because of these reckless pro-abortion policies. But remember, no matter how frustrating this is, are we going to give up? We're going to stand strong and we're going to keep going, because remember, it is one battle at a time and we are winning. We can't give up because there are those yet unborn who are depending on us to keep the battle going. They deserve better. They must inherit better, and we must strive to give them better. We cannot give up, because alone we're just one voice. But together, with the help of Almighty God, we are one